Hello and welcome to Inland Empire Alive, bringing you issues, events, and perspectives from throughout San Bernardino and Riverside counties. I'm David Brady, and on today's show, I'll welcome Valerie Peaster with Redlands Bowl Performing Arts to talk about the Bowl's long history and the 100th season of its Summer Music Festival. That's today on Inland Empire Alive. Well, joining me now from Redlands Bowl Performing Arts to talk about the Bowl's long history and the 100th season of its Summer Music Festival is Valerie Peaster, the program director. Welcome to the program.
Great to be here.
So let's go all the way back to the very, very beginning. How did Redlands Bowl Performing Arts get started?
Yeah, the Redlands Bowl has an incredible history. It was founded by Grace Stewart Mullen, who was a true visionary. She was actually friends with Artie Mason Carter, who founded the Hollywood Bowl. And she would go to Hollywood Bowl concerts in the summer, had a wonderful time, loved it. Again, very close friends with Artie Mason Carter. But she visioned and decided in her heart that she needed to bring something like that to Redlands, California. But she felt that the music, the beautiful classical music, should be available to everyone. And she, again, visioned this wonderful festival and which started in 1924, Redlands Bowl Summer Music Festival.
So let's fast forward to the future. Now, what types of programming is the Bowl typically offering these days?
Yeah, well, when Grace Mullen founded the festival, she envisioned a classical festival. And in the early days, actually, most of the performances were symphonic or vocal of a classical nature. And that's kind of evolved through the years, but we really continue to prioritize the classical roots of the festival. So we're anchored by symphonic programming. We always bring in incredible soloists, incredible musicians, but again, offer a number of other different variety of performance, including a Broadway musical, jazz, world music, just a wonderful variety of different offerings.
So now, fast forward, in 2023, give me a sort of an idea of the types of programs that the Bowl offers.
Yeah. We have a wonderful variety of programming, and it's all with this classical mission in mind. We have symphonic programs. We have the grand finals for a young artist concerto competition that we present. We bring a Broadway musical to the public, world music, big band, jazz. This year we actually have a jazz series that's sponsored by the National Endowment for the Arts. So again, it's a wonderful variety, all with that classical theme in mind, but again, a wonderful offering that appeals to multiple generations and many people.
Well, let's talk about that. So I know that your founder was very passionate about making sure that the programming was accessible to all, was that it appealed to all. So tell me a little bit about the philosophy that kind of underpins how you decide what to program for each season.
Yeah. Well, you know, we have multiple ways that we look at different options for the Bowl. We have some very, very significant filters that we bring to our decision-making process for the Bowl. We really consider ourselves an outdoor performing arts center. So the programming needs to be world-class, award-winning, recognized by bodies that award the finest in performing arts. So again, that's where we really start. But then we really think about what kind of variety can we bring to the public in this wonderful, fine performing arts arena. And we go to conferences, look at different acts being previewed and showcased. We talk to agents that we have relationships with for many, many years. We go and see concerts really all over the country. But then it really comes down to sort of an intuition of what would this public, this Southern California public, these wonderful people, exactly, what would be meaningful to them and what can they connect with and what would bring people together. Again, at the Redlands Bowl, it is a community. People come together for wonderful music under the stars, and again, there's just a significant thinking that goes into what will appeal to this broad audience that comes.
There's a very key aspect to your programs, and again, it goes all the way back to the beginning, and that is the programming is free to the public.
Yes.
Talk to me about the significance of that and why that is so important and why that has been vital to the mission of the RBPA.
You know, when Grace Mullen founded the Redlands Bowl, her heart was that all barriers to access the arts are taken away, that there isn't any barrier that anyone has. There's no cost to actually experience the finest in performing arts. She actually would say music is for everyone. And so, again, that's been a very, very high value for the Redlands Bowl, just making sure everyone can come. As a matter of fact, in the earliest days, part of our vision was that anyone that lived in the community, those people that were, picking the oranges in the groves in the Redlands area and beyond, could actually come and sit and enjoy the finest in performing arts. So again, been a very high value all along.
So with that history in mind, did you feel any pressure in planning this centennial season? What were the goals in sort of, paying homage to that history, but also recognizing kind of, the contemporary scene in music and performing arts?
Yeah. This centennial season has been a really exciting one to plan. We have some artists that are coming back that have been favorites over the years at the Redlands Bowl. We have symphony orchestras that we're working with, the Redlands Symphony that we've worked with for many, many years. But honestly, it's been a very, very exciting season to plan. We really have some fine acts, very excited about them, and it'll be a wonderful season for the public to enjoy.
Talk to me a little bit about kind of the eclecticism in the lineup, because again, it's not just orchestras, it's not just one type of music or one style of performance.
Yeah. Well, the musical this summer is Hello, Dolly. And that's a wonderful example of a program that's been around many, many years. It won Tonys in the 1960s. It's been a wonderfully celebrated musical. A movie was filmed around it as well. But now we're bringing it to a new audience and a new generation. So right there is a wonderful example of what the Redlands Bowl does. It takes a classic piece, brings it to new generations for them to enjoy. Also in the season we have, Gordon Goodwood's Big Fat Band. And again, they're a big band, but they have a very contemporary, very sharp feel to them. They take some of the classics and bring a new approach to them. And it's just a very, exciting program. We have Mariachi Divas coming this summer. Again, that's one of our wonderful world programs. Step Crew, Celtic. So just a wonderful variety, and which is, again, very exciting.
How often do the performances typically take place during a season?
Yeah, Tuesday and Friday evenings, mostly. There will be some other evenings. The musical runs the entire week, the last week in July, but it's couple nights a week during the summer.
And then just talk to me about the setting itself. Just sort of paint that picture of what it's like to sit there in the venue.
Yeah. So the Redlands Bowl is open air. There's a beautiful Parcellus stage structure. It was built in the 1930s by Clarence and Florence White, and another wonderful milestone in the history of the Redlands Bowl. And you're basically outside, you're under the stars, it's open air, enjoying the beautiful performance, and it's just a really, really wonderful venue. And actually, the city of Redlands has invested a significant amount this past year in kind of upgrading the bowl. It's got new fresh paint, we've got new sound and light towers. It's really an exciting time to be at a bowl performance.
So it's at its most beautiful.
It is.
I know you touched on this a little bit earlier, but talk to me about some of the other ways that RBPA serves the community, and particularly with a focus on children.
Yeah. Several years ago, the RBPA board prioritized serving youth in our region, and now we actually bring music engagement opportunities to over 35,000 children a year. Many people don't know that. We've received very significant grant funding from the California Arts Council, the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians, and just this last spring, we brought mariachi and ballet folklorical assemblies to all 50 elementary schools in San Bernardino and to schools in the Redlands Unified School District as well. So very robust offerings in terms of programming for youth. And what we're hoping is that children who wouldn't have the experience to go to concert performances or engagement can experience that in their schools and with their peers.
And talk to me about the significance of why it's important to reach out to children in particular, inspiring that next generation. Because you're not always necessarily inspiring them to be musicians in some cases.
Yeah, our founder, Grace Mullen, actually said, when people enjoy great music together, man-made boundaries disappear. And we feel that this is something that can be started at a very, very young age. There's something magical about being in a venue. Maybe it's just a school multi-purpose room or a community center, and enjoying wonderful artistic programming. It builds community, it lifts the spirits, and we desire for children to experience that. And one thing we prioritize as well is that children in the schools get to experience multiple musical genres. It expands their horizons, it makes them curious, and it's a wonderful, wonderful life experience, whether or not they're inspired to be musicians in the future.
Well, you may have touched on this earlier, but What are some things you wish the public knew about RBPA and the Bowl? That again, with this long history behind it, there are still things people don't know.
Yeah. I think the most important thing for people to know is that anyone can come to the Bowl. Everyone is welcome at the Bowl. And there is no barrier of cost. You can come, you can enjoy a program that you've been looking forward to. If you want to come and see a Celtic program, Step Crew would be a wonderful performance this summer, but come enjoy that and then try some things that you haven't before. Come and see an opera program. New York Gilbert and Sullivan Players will be at the Bowl this summer. Come and try opera, see what you think. And we are confident people will actually really get to enjoy some new artistic experiences, ones that might be a little bit of a stretch for them. So everyone is welcome at the Redlands Bowl.
And then where can people find more information about the programs, about the services that you offer to the community?
Yeah, the best place is on our website, redlandsbowl.org. And they also can call the Redlands Bowl office if they like to as well. And if people would like a summer season brochure, that can be found online at our website, and also you can call the office and we're happy to send one to you as well.
And I understand that you are active on social media as well. Where can people find you on social media, and what type of content should they look for?
All right, we're on Instagram actively, and Facebook and Twitter, and I know you can just look up Redlands Bowl and find those links online.
Valerie, I know that the work you do is so impactful on the community, and I want to say thank you for everything that you've done and everything the Bowl has done. Again, to let people know, redlandsbowl.org is where
Correct.
They can find out more.
Yes.
The centennial season takes place from which dates to which dates?
Yes, it's from June 23rd to August 26th.
Valerie, thank you for being on the program. It's been a delight.
Thank you. Wonderful to be here.